Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to another Driving in the News episode. This video is for historical purposes only, and it's part of a playlist on my channel where I feature Patterson videos, driving videos, relaxation videos. So for this particular playlist, Driving in the News, the purpose here is to record history for future generations by listening to 1010 Winds in the New York metropolitan area on my commute to work, and I bring you with me. So let's listen to the news together.
Not 15 minutes and 6 minutes.
More protests today, noon outside of D.A. Bragg's office here and at Washington Square Park at 6 p.m. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Winds, 92.3 FM in Lower Manhattan.
34-year-old Amandeep Singh is being held without bail in a crash that left two 14-year-olds dead in Jericho. Investigators say Singh was driving drunk and attempted to flee the scene.
Funeral services will be held today for Ethan Felkowitz, and on Sunday, the funeral for his best friend, Drew Hassenbein. Two amazing 14-year-old Roslyn students who were also brilliant tennis stars. They were coming home from a match when they were both killed. The community is heartbroken over the losses.
It's a very big loss for Roslyn, very big loss for the world. You know, these are outstanding tennis players and great kids.
Hundreds of friends and family members of the two teens came to court as Amandeep Singh, the wrong-way drunk driver, was held without bail. Singh's blood alcohol level, police say, was more than twice the legal limit.
They were the most perfect people and had the brightest futures ahead of them, and they were taken way too soon from us.
And at Roslyn Middle School, mental health professionals are available for any student who needs support. Sophia Hall, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in Roslyn, Long Island.
A mother and her baby daughter were killed yesterday when their car collided with a school van in Yaphank. They were headed north on Route 101 when they hit the school van on the LIE service road. The 73-year-old school van driver and a 61-year-old matron were treated for broken bones and other non-life-threatening injuries. There were no students aboard the van. The cause of the crash is under investigation. 1010 Winds AccuWeather, some dense fog in the suburbs this morning. Otherwise, early sun giving way to clouds for the rest of the day. A shower or two this afternoon into the first part of the evening. Still cool. We'll have a high near 60. The weekend nicer. Morning sun giving way to clouds tomorrow. Warmer in the afternoon. High 68. Sunday, early sun fading behind afternoon clouds and a high of 72. It's 48 now. Sunny. Patches of fog in the suburbs. Humidity at 90. The winds are northeast at 5. It's 48. And we're going up to 60. Cops have arrested a teenager in what appears to have been an anti-gay attack in Hell's Kitchen a month ago. The 44-year-old victim was at 44th and 10th when he was punched, kicked, and stabbed by a gang shouting homophobic slurs. The 17-year-old under arrest is charged with hate crime assault, regular assault, hate crime aggravated harassment, and criminal possession of a weapon. They're still looking for his accomplices. The superintendent of the Roosevelt School District is complaining that members of the high school basketball team have been subjected to racial slurs at away games with Wantagh and Lynbrook. Deborah Wortham says she and her students will not stand for this.
It is our intent to change the picture for our students and to put it in a new frame.
She tells CBS 2 the district has filed a notice of claim, but adds it doesn't have to turn into a lawsuit if she can meet with the leaders of the other districts to work this out. 4 members of the Proud Boys have been convicted for their roles in the riot at the Capitol.
A federal jury found the former leader of the Proud Boys and 3 high-ranking members guilty of seditious conspiracy for their role in the January 6th attack.
That the Justice Department will do everything in its power to defend the American people and American democracy.
Prosecutors said the far-right extremist group, led at the time by Enrique Tarrio, plotted to stop the peaceful transfer of power to keep then-President Trump in office.
Skylar Henry reporting the 4 could get 20 years in prison. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is down on the Mexican border to meet with Border Patrol agents ahead of the expiration of Title 42 next week.
Secretary Mayorkas is in Brownsville, Texas, in the Rio Grande Valley, reviewing the planning and response operations for both Border Patrol and ICE. Title 42 is set to expire May 11th. El Paso, Texas has already declared a state of emergency and is setting up temporary shelters. Mayor Oscar Leeser expects an influx of 15 15,000 migrants.
We are preparing to go into the schools. We're going to prepare to go into the Civic Center if necessary, and also what we've been using now, which is hotels.
President Biden is sending 1,500 active duty troops to assist with processing.
Chris Fox reporting Republicans like Senator John Cornyn of Texas are predicting disaster, he says, unless the Biden administration is actually going to follow through on expedited removals in place of Title 42. This is not going to work. We'll get the April jobs report in about 20 minutes. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick says indications are it's going to be below average.
The consensus is that some 180,000 jobs were added last month and that the unemployment rate rose 0.1% to 3.6%, still historically low. The average number of monthly job gains so far this year is 345,000. The April number is expected to be close to half that monthly average for jobs added.
And we'll have the actual numbers for you as soon as they come out at 8:30. We fought 2 wars with the British, so we wouldn't have to be bothered with kings and queens and such, but some Americans are still into royalty, like this woman who traveled from North Carolina to London for tomorrow's coronation of King Charles III.
This is what he was born to do, and I really do believe he and Camilla are soulmates, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them together, and now he gets to have his reign, and we'll just wait for William and Kate's.
Which presumably won't be as long a wait as Charles had. Correspondent James Longman now on how they're going to do things tomorrow.
Charles and Camilla ride in the King's Procession, is what it's called officially, from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey. That is where they will be crowned King and Queen, and a ceremony is going to take about an hour and a half. That's half the time that Queen Elizabeth took for her ceremony back in 1953. It'll also be a lot smaller, 2,000 people or thereabouts in attendance rather than the 8,000 that she had.
President Biden, like every other American president, is skipping this event since it's not really in keeping with the nation's founding principles, but he did send the First Lady over there to represent. It's 48, it's sunny. We're going up to 60 in Midtown. Some people don't like the way the NFL does business, not necessarily on the field, but definitely in the office.
The Attorneys General of New York and California are investigating the National Football League over allegations of workplace discrimination and hostility. The joint investigation is going to examine the workplace culture of the NFL and allegations by as many as 30 former female employees of gender discrimination and retaliation. Those allegations first surfaced in February 2022 when the Attorneys General said the league failed to sufficiently address them. The office has subpoenaed the NFL for information about the allegations involving compensation, harassment, and race discrimination. Aaron Katursky, ABC News for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Authorities in Old Bridge, New Jersey have cracked a cold pasta case. A candidate for city council there happened upon hundreds of pounds of pasta dumped in the woods along Irsa Creek with no indication as to its origin. It seemed the pasta had been cooked as well. So who would cook all that pasta and then dump it in the woods? Nobody, as it turns out. Further investigation revealed the pasta was raw when it was dumped, and it only looked cooked because it had been rained on. Seems the pasta had been stored in a nearby home that's up for sale, and apparently somebody cleaning the place out dumped the noodles in the woods. The township's Public Works Department cleaned up the pasta, and the mayor considers the case closed, so nobody will be going to the penitentiary.
But
11 now. Traffic and transit on the ones. Here's Karen Stewart.
All right, we're going to start with the Hudson River crossings. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. It is 45 minutes inbound for the GW Bridges upper level, 35 for the lower. The Lincoln is 30, and the Holland is at the very least a 30-minute delay. In New Jersey, southbound New Jersey Turnpike, the Western Spur. Yeah, you sitting in that delay? Well, at 15W for Route 280, we've got an accident. It's only on the shoulder, but it is causing slowdowns nonetheless. Eastbound 78 local lanes, the exit ramp for 54 is closed. At Winans Avenue in Hillside Township, we have a disabled truck to trailer there. Eastbound Interstate 280 west of exit 6 for Laurel Avenue in Roseland, we've got an accident there, and one lane is closed, the left lane. Northern suburbs, the New York State Thruway is at it again. Southbound, this time after exit 11 in Nyack, we've got an accident there. The left lane is blocked. We've got a couple of things, well, more than a couple of things. On Long Island, eastbound, the LIE at 40, we've got a disabled vehicle vehicle getting pushed to the shoulder. Eastbound LIE at 64 has got an accident with 2 lanes closed, and the Southern State Parkway westbound at exit 28 for the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway has an accident over on the right shoulder. The LIRR is great. The subways are great. Alternate side parking rules are in effect today and was sponsored by the Vision Zero Initiative. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this quick news video for Cinco de Mayo 2023. We'll see you on the next Pride in Patterson video.